James L. Brooks and Julie Ansell. You produced Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, an adaptation of the classic Judy Blume novel. Now, she hadn't given anyone permission to adapt this book until now, famously. So, how did she come to agree to this film?
Kelly Fremont Craig wanted to adapt this as a next job, and she took the crazy route of just writing Judy a letter telling her that. And fortunately, Judy had seen her first film, Edge of 17, and liked it. And when she sort of said that, we all got on the plane immediately and went to Key West, and it happened there.
Yeah. I think she felt safe in letting it go after 50 years with Kelly and Jim involved. And I think she ended up being very happy, thankfully.
And what was both of your relationship to the book before this sort of opportunity came about? Had you read it, or did you read it for this to make the film?
Yeah, I mean, I read it as a kid. It was a very seminal book for me. As many, I think, girls back then, you learn about puberty, you learn that you're not alone in the world, and that's what that book did for me. So when Kelly brought it up again, it was thrilling to be able to work on it. And it was great to reread it as an adult as well.
How about you, Jim?
It was the first time I read it when this happened, and it turned out to be seminal for me as well.
And how involved was Judy Blume during the production? Like, was she in depth and really protective of her?
She was perfectly involved. She was a spirit. She was a cheerleader. She rooted us on. And the thing that all of us carry that you don't carry on other pictures, which was murder, is the thought that you could possibly let Judy down because it's her legacy work. And that was the most pressure I've ever lived with. But she was just an enthusiastic cheerleader for the work.
And because this was such a beloved source material, there was a lot of interest in it, and it ended up landing at Lionsgate. Could you talk about like the process of getting that distributor and how that deal ended up?
We made the rounds, and just wanting to have the picture made in the best possible way with the most support, and it turned out to be Lionsgate. Which, I mean, from the moment we walked in for the meeting and they decorated it like a schoolroom. It was like over the top, and then it was constant support, which was good to have.
And it was really important for us that it be theatrical. I mean, there was always that idea of going streaming, and but for this movie we wanted it to be an event for women. And that was a big part of it. And Lionsgate absolutely supported that.
And of course, working with Kelly Fremont Craig, the writer director, you've worked with her before on Edge of 17. Like what's it like working with her, and what was sort of her creative process and really shepherding this film?
She's tremendously thorough. She's at the nth degree of preparation. But the great thing about her is the spirit of the work, the climate she has on her set, the atmosphere of it, especially when you have young actors like we had on this. And I think you see the result.
And young actors, is so crucial to the film, finding that perfect cast, that perfect Margaret, who I feel like you've definitely found the perfect actor for that role, Ryder Fortson. What was it like casting that role in particular, and all of the girls in that film who make up so much of the heart of that film?
We saw hundreds of
easily
kids.
Yeah, we really did. And for Margaret, we saw so many, and then when Abby walked in, that was it.
There was nobody in second place for either of the two young leads.
And is it more challenging to cast child roles compared to like adult roles?
I don't think so. I think maybe, if anything, it's a little easier. I mean, because they're new. I mean, there's a sense of, I mean, even though both the lead girls had worked before, there is still some innocence about it.
I think that's what Kelly was so good at, was creating an atmosphere where they weren't kid actors. They were being themselves and being the character, but in that relaxed way where it was real rather than, kind of a.
She would frequently say for an additional take, okay, say it, but in your own words. That was a regular thing that happened.
And one of the things that's so special about the the film is how it captures not just the Margaret's anxieties, but also her parents, her grandparents. How is it threading that needle, of capturing all of those generations of life?
I think it's a great adaptation. I mean, I really do think it's a great adaptation, because the mother was a marginal character in the book, and somehow in Kelly's adaptation, you got the story of three women, which was not in the book, but seems inevitable once you see it.
And what do you think it is about this, the source material, this story, and now this film, I think will, have a long life with younger viewers and older viewers. What do you think it is about this story that continues to resonate with people?
Well, I mean, certainly there aren't sadly, many books or anything that really talk about puberty and, for certainly women's puberty and coming of age. And I think that's what people almost of all generations, I mean, over the years have read in the book, and now hopefully in the movie, is something that you can connect to, that you recognize what they're all going through, both Margaret, the mother, the grandmother, they're all going through sort of a coming of age in their own way. And you connect to that, and there's not enough of that to see. So it has a real meaning for people.
And I like to think of it as the most female movie ever made. There are words in this movie that have never been said on the screen before.
And what was Judy Blume's reaction to the film when when you showed it to her like in its finished form?
She's happy.
She even says the sentence that she thinks it's better than the book, which is remarkable.
No author has ever said about a Hollywood adaptation of their material.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the great things about adaptation is that you're creating something new out of something that exists, and so as you say, you get different, you see different elements of story from more points of view from this film, and I think that's one of the beauties of adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have fans of the book responded to the film? Like, how have because obviously this is such a beloved text, means so much to so many people.
The Rotten Tomatoes was crazy. I mean,
or 99. Yeah, no, people really, that was one of the, really important to us, to not only connect to everybody, but also to the fans of the book. And, across the board, we would hear people just so happy that it was done right.
And women get in touch with who they were when they read the book. That happened all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, after a screening, I would go in the women's bathroom, and to hear the conversations that were sparked by this movie, it was amazing. So.
Well, I want to congratulate you both on your work on the film, and thank you so much for talking with me about it today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.